Welcome back, everyone. This is the finale of my 3-part Dead Space Challenge series. In this video, I'll be taking on the final 4 chapters without upgrades and just the plasma cutter. And also, I am playing on impossible mode, just in case you forgot. And if you skipped the first 2 parts and just watched this one, well dude, what are you doing? Speedrunning YouTube? Go watch the other first 2 parts. And if you had, well, you are a fucking legend. So without further ado, let's get started. Chapter 9, Dead on Arrival. After entering the Valor, I searched the ship for any useful supplies. After that, I continued.
Isaac, we have a problem. The Valor's carrying a 12 megaton warhead. The crash hit the torpedo bay hard. I need you to handle that nuke right away before something sets it off.
Oh, that's cool. They added some extra missions to the remake. God, I love it when... excuse me. I headed to the torpedo room. On my way there, I was hit with another enemy type, the Twitcher. Panicking, I quickly grabbed the extinguisher to slow the Twitcher down, then quickly finished it off with my plasma cutter. Jeez, what happened to these things? They used to be super easy. After dealing with the Twitcher, I made my way to the torpedo room. Better heed this warning. I carefully dealt with the one exploder in the room. And then, I fired the warhead. With that taken care of, I pressed on until I reached the armory, just the place I needed since I was low on ammo. But was I oblivious to the nightmare that was waiting on the other side of the door? A divider. No problem. These things are pretty slow. 2 Twitchers making a break for the door would not be an option since they're super slow to open. And plus, I was in desperate need for some ammo. I'll need to buy myself some time to think. As long as I kept moving, I'll be fine. Noticing the explosives, I'll need to get my timing right if I wanted to avoid getting hit. When the window of opportunity finally came, I quickly used the explosives to weaken the Twitchers, since shooting them was like shooting Neo from the Matrix. Once the room was cleared, I restocked and continued my way to the engine room. Reaching the cargo room, I planned for the inevitable onslaught that would soon take place. I set up some explosives and stasis capsules in the middle of the room. Ready for a fight, I triggered the lockdown and headed to the back of the room. Then when the enemy showed up, I crippled the very first one that was in my sight. Seeing that there was an exploder incoming, I decided to wait until they all gathered around and stasis them so I can kill the exploder for a sweet triple kill. Once I finished off a lone lurker, I fucking knew it. Okay, plan A, use stasis jars. Plan A, fail. Plan B, panic shoot. Plan B, ineffective. Plan C, self-destruct. Very effective. Sacrificing some health, I managed to kill the Twitchers. Now, it was time to fight the brute. I tried to conserve on some ammo, so I decided to bait him into the electrical floor and stasis him in there. And when he was weak enough, it only took a couple of shots to finish him off.
Quarantine lockdown disengaged.
Finally made it to the engine room. And the best way I could describe this area is just don't get burnt and you'll be fine. Man, I don't know how I feel about Hammond's new death scene. But oh well. Once I acquired the core, it was time to evacuate the ship. I ignored any enemies I encountered and just focused getting off the Valor.
Incoming debris. Sealing blast door.
Once I got back to the Ishimura, I was awarded with an achievement. Chapter 10, End of Days. Before continuing this chapter, I stopped at the store to sell all my valuables. Jeez, look how much money I got off that ship. Once I was done, it was time to hunt down the keycard. A journey that had little resistance. Surprising, right? I know. Once I made it to the gym... Man, they brought back Z-Ball? Oh, that's awesome. If I wasn't on impossible mode, I'd totally play some Z-Ball. After I acquired the key card, I continued on through the ship and suddenly ran into Dr. Mercer again. Which means... Good thing here is that he's all alone. I broke his legs and quickly made my escape through the halls. Now, it's time to destroy the tendrils. After fighting through hordes of necromorphs and a guardian, I found my first tendril in a gas-filled bathroom. And now, for the second one in the deluxe quarters. And out of nowhere, the hunter reared his ugly head again. I ignored him and quickly made my escape, cause ain't nobody got time for that. And once I made it to the quarters, I was quickly ambushed as soon as I entered the room. After the ambush, I destroyed the tendril and made my way to the executive quarters. I made it to the quarters and destroyed the final tendril. After that, another fight was on my hands. I blasted the infected first, and then finished off the rest of the enemies in the room. Once the room was cleared, I made my way back to the marker, where I would be met with another lockdown. A lockdown that was quickly lifted thanks to the exploder. Now it was time to get the hunter off my back once and for all. And holy shit, he has friends now. I guess the devs thought this part was too easy in the original. Because you know what? The hunter isn't the problem. It's the huge horde he leads. And don't get me started on the Twitchers. And funny enough, the one thing I'm seeking to destroy would be my ally in this fight. Can you guess what it is? I'll wait. If you chose the marker, then you are an absolute legend. Yes, the marker helped me win this fight. How though? Well, funny enough, any enemies next to the marker would immediately be slowed down, and even the Twitchers weren't immune to this effect. That was a risky gamble, but it was well worth it. After I finally crippled the Twitcher, I did some finessing around and crippled the hunter. I stasis the crowd, and I finally defeated the hunter. Now it was... God, I hate these stupid things. I hate them. I hate them. After surviving the tentacle, I was awarded with an achievement for beating Chapter 10. Chapter 11, Alternate Solutions. Now this chapter is the shortest chapter in the whole game, only because it depends on how fast I can get the marker from point A to point B. And you know, I could drone on and on about my struggles on how I managed to fight off the hordes of necromorphs with my trusty plasma cutter, or how I found a famous Peng treasure. Is it Peng? Peng? P-E-N-G, whatever. Treasure hidden off in the corner somewhere. But I don't think I need to, because this chapter's already over. See, I told you. This was it. The final stretch. I stopped at the store to prepare myself for the battle ahead. And soon after, I would be ambushed. The room was too small to fight in, so I decided to take the fight outside, to create more space between me and the necromorphs. After the fight was over, I restored power to the door and headed inside.
Warning. Unknown biohazard detected. Quarantine in progress.
Time for a lockdown. Once again, I'll be taking advantage of the large room. I kited the enemies into a group and baited them all next to the marker.
Lifting quarantine.
After killing the last enemy, the lockdown was lifted. While moving through the complex, I couldn't help but reflect on my past failed runs. How many times has it been now? How many times did I see that game over screen? How many times did other players see it? If I died here, would I just give up and never attempt this run again? I could ask these questions all day, but the reality is, it doesn't matter, because there was one final challenge to overcome.
Grab my hand!
It was time to take down the hive mind. He was pretty easy in the original, but this time it looks like he has a few new tricks up his sleeve. He can now call on friends to help him. And also, vomit up acid that will linger on the ground for a short time. Not sure if these damage you or not, but I wasn't willing to test that for this run. He can even spit out balls to block your path if you're not careful. Finally took him down. After that, I got the hell off that planet. And got an achievement for beating the game. Then, I was rewarded with the foam finger, burnished suit. Wowee! Man, what a great game. I love this game. I'm actually kind of happy with some of the improvements they made on it. Like this game was awesome. But matter of fact, I'm going to tell my kids about this game one day. It's so beautiful. It looks amazing. But anyway, back to the run. This run was really tough, and I actually died 4 times before beating it. And oh man, that last part where the hive mind is hanging you upside down, my palms were just sweating. I had sweat coming down my brow. It was, I don't know what I would have done if I died right there. But anyway, if you stuck with me since the beginning of this, thank you. I could not possibly done this without you. And all the support I received from this series was wonderful. So thank you. Sad to see this end, but don't worry. Every day, there's always a challenge somewhere, waiting to be overcome. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, this is Lazarus, signing off.